All right, so just wanted to do a couple more examples that are combining our shifts and our reflections. Okay, now the key here is take this in small chunks. Okay, if you try to do this all at once in one big step, you're going to mess up, you're going to be overwhelmed. So take it in small pieces. We know how to do shifting, we know how to do reflecting. We're just going to put them together, maybe multiple steps, and it's no big deal. So we're going to start by trying to graph this. So negative x squared plus 2. So the first thing I have to figure out is who's my parent function. So that's x squared. What shifts, or today, what shifts and reflections are there? So I see a negative out in front of the x squared. It's not in parentheses or anything like that. So this is a reflection over the x-axis. And then I have a plus 2 that's out in front. So this is a shift up 2. Okay, so now I just got to take these and draw my graph. So I'm going to start by drawing my parent function. So it's a huge help to me. I know you guys are smarter than me, but it's a huge help to me if I draw my parent function first. So that might be a little hard to see. It's in green, but I just need just a nice, maybe a dotted line graph just to give me something to work with. And now I just have to follow my order here. So reflect over the x-axis. So I'm going to draw that graph. So that's in black there, no big deal. And then up 2. So then I'm going to take this dotted black graph and just move everything up 2. And there we go. So this blue graph is negative x squared plus 2. Okay, one more thing before we go to the next one. How did I know to reflect it first or shift it first? So the way I check that is if you were going to plug in a number into this function, what would you do to that number first to find the output? For example, if I'm going to plug in the number 3, what's the first thing I'm going to do? 3 squared is 9, and then I'm going to apply the negative before I apply the plus 2. So because my order of operations said make a negative and then add 2, that tells me to reflect it and then move it up 2. Okay, next one. Negative absolute value of x minus 3. So who's my parent function? Absolute value of x. What shifts and transformations and reflections do I see? Well, I see a minus 3 inside the absolute value. So that's telling me to go to right 3. And I see a negative out in front. So that's a reflection over the x-axis. Okay, how do I know the order? Well, if I was going to plug in a number, if I was going to plug in 4, I would do 4 minus 3 first. So that'd be a shift, and then make a negative. So I'm going to go right 3 and then reflect over the x. So step 1, draw my parent function. So this is my little V graph. There it is in green. Now I'm going to move it right 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's my blue graph. And then I'm going to reflect it over the x-axis. And boom, there's my final graph. Okay, last one. Now I want to know what's the equation of this graph that I'm given. All right, so kind of the same order of events, just backwards. So step 1, what's my parent function? Well, this looks like the square root of x to me. Okay, so if you remember, square root of x normally looks like something like that. So what happened to that function? Well, looks like it went to the left 3 units, and it got reflected over the x-axis. So then I just got to put those together. So left 3, so that'd be x plus 3 in parentheses, and then a reflection over the x-axis. That gives me a negative out in front. Okay, so again, just putting it together. Reflection, shift, who's my parent function, and then write it all together as an equation.